Hello everyone. Before we start this week's episode, I just wanted to take a second and talk about Annapolis Boat Show 2021, which as of today is still going full steam ahead. A few of you have asked in comments recently if we're going to be there, and of course we will be for the entire weekend. We have lots of exciting things planned, like meetups, and Matt and I will be at the YouTube Sailing Channel's booth on and off, walking around, so we hope to see a lot of your faces there. And when you go buy your tickets, we've got a little insider secret for you. If you do it between September 1st and 21st, and you use the code MJSailing2021, that is going to get you $5 off your ticket price. But we're going to be there with a lot of other great channels, a lot of amazing vendors. Of course, so many of them have discounts on their products. So all in all, just a great reason to head up to here, Annapolis, look at all the boats on display, look at all the vendors, and hopefully we'll get a chance to say hello to each other. But before you get here, remember to use that code of MJSailing2021 when you buy your ticket and get that $5 off.
Alright everyone, we got about 20 minutes left on the clock.
We're doing really good up here.
Degrees in the tent today.
So what's currently holding these side panels in place is you can kind of see just two little fingers of the hook below that flange that's lifting it up. It's a ratchet strap on that side, and what that's doing is that is not only holding the flange or the whole side panel up, it's also pulling it kind of back out from the lower part, which is pushing the top part in. So it's what we need to do to get this down into place is to lower this down, and I think it's going to require some actual pushing, some pulling, some adjustments just to get it to fall into the slot. We don't have a huge area for it to come in. Where the bulkheads currently rest, I cut out probably a equivalent of a ½ inch, basically like 12 millimeters of space for that flange piece to come in, the top flange to slide into place. The good news is once we get that first lip of the piece that we're lowering to set on top of there, everything else, it should kind of just slide into place. That's great right now. What we're gonna run into a problem is when we have adhesive on that and we are sliding that down there, we're gonna take the adhesive with us. So I gotta kind of figure out a way to do that. That may take a couple of days to figure out. Currently, we're just gonna drop this into place so I can trim back the bulkheads in the proper position and make sure all of those are all set.
After 8 years of the nomadic life, involving crossing oceans in a 34-foot Sabre, refitting an aluminum boat, and then taking that to the Arctic Circle, we're back at it again with a brand new build. This is Matt and I'm Jessica. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us every week as we start our newest project of building a 42-foot catamaran from the ground up.
All right, I'm going to be at the forward edge of the boat, pushing the hull side in while Matt is working kind of like the, not the ratchet straps, the come-alongs, and just kind of trying to get it pushed in and slide into the flange there. So, one of two.
This might be a job that'd be better for more than 2 people, but we've got mechanical advantage.
Oh, that's right. You are going to release the ratchet first.
Yeah. Stand back.
Okay.
It's already overlapping, so this is going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, after here you can see that now it's overlapping, so it's already started to slide on top. The forward edge where I will be needs to be pushed in and kind of guided under the bulkheads.
That's going to be more difficult.
That's going to be the more difficult part. And as you can tell, this needs to go.
Oh, that was easy. For the rest of us, that's simple.
Don't say that. So I'm going to have to try and get this lip here under there. And
yeah, it's got to go
under here.
quite a ways in. Okay, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. Now it's on the come along.
Longs only.
Alright, so you got to get it like right where that lip is there, and then. So I guess I'm gonna lower the front first then.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably best.
Oh man, I gotta run all the way around.
Yep. Alright, very slowly we're starting to get it where it hangs over. So you can see the part of the flange on the upper is now sitting over the lower part. And here's one of our bulkheads, so we'll just slide in there. But we're still hanging out a little bit on the forward edge. Stop. Still right around bulkhead 2, I think I gotta get it. Let me get a tight spot. Come on, just a little bit further. Alright, I've got the front 2 pieces pulled apart, so ready to lower anytime.
So I think what's holding it now is my little ratchet strap right here.
Okay. So stand back.
Oh, that's hot.
It's quite a hot day in here.
So then the plan is to put those wooden frame pieces, the plywood frame pieces on the outside again to make sure we're getting that right angle where it actually needs to be, so this is sitting upright. If you look forward, you can kind of see there's an orange ratchet strap going from side to side. That is actually what I use to pull in the bottom part of the flange. And it did a really good job of keeping probably a 6mm 1/4 inch gap in between the flange and the other flange. As the thing was getting lowered down, it kind of just swung it into place.
Side 2, Matt has switched over to his cooling vest, which is one of the only ways that he can survive in this hot, humid weather right now.
Survive-ish.
Survive-ish. He's still not fully surviving.
Oh. Rough, rough, rough.
Alright, ratchet strap on starboard, coming down.
Don't enjoy this part.
Man, that looks tight.
Yep. So now when we lower down from the top there, it's going to make that, again, that bottom swing in and hopefully hit within that bulkhead. It worked on that side. We'll see if it works on this side. Kind of.
Well,
Well, actually, no. The stern, you got to be back there for the stern, it looks like.
so apparently I have to...
You got to somehow manipulate that.
Not with one hand. I will see you later. See, now I've got this overlapping, and the whole issue was a bulkhead that's not even attached. This is 8. It's not going to go in until the second container gets here, and it was holding me up. Alright, so tightening the ratchet strap again to bring it in, but I think I'm also needed at the front to help push it a little bit. I'm a little short here, but I'll try and push.
last piece, but otherwise it's fitting in everywhere. We do have the hull sides both on now, and Matt has taken ratchet straps to both lifting points, running them abeam so that they're pulling each other in, and things are starting to line up really well. So tomorrow's project is going to be more trimming, of course cleaning the tent, big one, and then we'll talk about bonding. I still absolutely love that this is our wind down spot at the end of each day. Right now Matt is on his way to the showers. I am fresh and clean, and he's talking to our friend Tucker, who lives at the marina as an employee here and just bought a boat and moved aboard. I've got Georgie wandering down by my feet. Sun is starting to go down. Got a really delicious seltzer. Try one of these. It does taste like a creamsicle. So after a hard and hot day of work, this is still the perfect place to relax.
Yeah, I think you're doing it wrong. Nope, you're doing it right.
It is bright and early again on a Sunday morning, which means that it is time to bond our port side hull. I'm just having my morning coffee while we wait for Brian and Summer to make their way over from Back Creek on their boat in Annapolis to give us a hand. And because we flew through it so fast last week, and because temperatures are still kind of cool this morning, we've pushed our start time back to 8 o'clock, so thankfully I was not waking up at the crack of dawn today.
Is it time for you to get inside? Come on. Do you want to go lay on the couch while we bond a hull side?
Got our station all set up and ready to go. Scale with a plastic covering it, general plastic. We've got our pastry bags with the little filler here. Still finishing up the coffee. And our glass spacer beads. I don't know if you can see them, which Matt will be spreading on the bead. Matt is making a ton of noise in the boat right now as he gets floors and other things down to make it easier for Brian and Summer, who are here now and just making a rest stop break. He's putting a ladder up right now because Summer is going to handle the ratchet strap all the way at the back there, so that way she can get easy access to it. Brian is going to be on this ratchet strap. Matt's going to be bouncing back and forth, and I will be in there pressing in the hull as we go. We're just about to start mixing now at 9 o'clock in the morning, and temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s, so we're still hoping for about a 40 to 45 minute work time. We did not do a test run this time because we're hoping things just go smoothly, and Brian and Summer were just here a week ago doing it, so yeah, wish us luck. Switched to a Home Depot bucket this time for mixing because, well, Georgie just didn't poop enough to give us another litter container.
That jerk.
That jerk. Cats. So we're going to mix up 3,200 grams of the component here instead of the 3,500 from last time. Everyone is like so ready.
We're excited. Very early.
It's 9:10.
People can see the clock, right?
Yeah, it's right there.
Don't worry.
There's you. There's the clock. Cannot read.
33:23.
So now we're
going to add 400 grams of the catalyst before mixing the two together, and then the 40-minute timer starts.
Bring it up.
I'm ready.
Alright. Do this.
Alright.
Timer has been activated.
Gonna push it good. Push it real good. And the moment's gone.
You didn't do the music.
Push it real good.
Keep going.
I am. Any more?
Tick tock, tick tock.
Tick tock to
This is
don't
not on
stop,
TikTok.
stop to tick tock to you. Don't stop. You can go all day with any of these music.
In the middle.
Summer's putting the last bits of bead down. We've got about 22 minutes left on the clock, so it is time now to get this thing lowered. Everyone into position. I'm going to be starting in the midsection around here.
Because it's going to squeeze, gravity is going to pull it that direction. We want it to go the other way. Bring up here, right on top of that. And then pull your glove off. Awesome!
So right now you can see that some of these are already underneath the phalange. So they're going to start slowly lowering, and I will work through, and if I need to, I will push this in to make sure, especially forward there, that this phalange slides on top of these. All right, we're starting slowly at the back, right?
Brian, flip down. One more. Okay. Okay. Okay, Brian, lower a little more. More. More.
Okay, I'm gonna go forward.
Summer. Okay, start. Okay, it's on you, Jeff.
All right.
Brian, down. Yep. Yep. Dressing it right.
Give me 2 seconds. I think I can get all the way forward now. All right, let's give this a shot. Let's do forward slowly. Down. All right, things are looking good up here.
Slide Brian down. Okay, let off the slack.
Okay, good. We've got all of these on the inside, and there it's going. So I think, are we ready to take out the extension cords? Oh yeah, we got a lot of overflow here. You're gonna have a lot of coving to do.
Okay, extension cords out.
Extension cords out. So now Matt is gonna go through and start getting these in here. Matt, what would you like me to do right now? Do you want me to start working on?
How does that look for flush up there?
Well, once we put the bolts in the front and bring it down,
Yeah.
it's good, but as far as like fore and aft, it's perfectly lined up.
Alright, so this screw should work.
Time to start cleaning up this overflow.
Right?
So right now I am taking the excess squeeze out and creating a cove, because if you can see on this side, we do go through and put a layer of fiberglass, so trying to blend the two edges together is going to be a step anyway, so may as well use some of the overflow for it. And then on the outside here, Matt and Brian are just making adjustments with these screws, trying to make sure that we get a flush edge. So sometimes like doing a little bit of pulling so that it sets exactly as it should be. Excellent, man. Lots of 90s references today. Wayne's World, excellent. Look at these handy dandy half floors. Right now we are about down to 2 minutes on the timer. Summer and I have gone through the center area and we took any of the excess squeeze out and tried to create like a nice little ramp so that when we do go to fiberglass that same later, we're not trying to fill that gap with thickened resin. Matt and Brian are at the stern now with the screws, just kind of making sure everything is flush between the two hull sides. It's starting to get tacky. I'm not going to speak too soon, but I think it's working out. It is time to add more names to our Hall of Fame, and if you're not familiar with it because we haven't done it in a few weeks, this is a spot in our boat between bulkheads 2 and 3 that's eventually going to be storage for sails and lockers and such. So what we're going to do, or what we are doing, is putting up all of our patrons' names, which will eventually get covered in a gloss, so the names will always be visible because we always want to be reminded of the people that got us here. We just celebrated 200 episodes on YouTube, which is huge. I cannot believe that we've been doing this for almost 4 years now on YouTube, and we would not still be here if it were not for the support of our patrons. So we just want to say a little small thanks to them. This week we have finally jumped over to the outer hull side, which is now bonded on. So we've got a lot of our patrons that joined us in the late spring, starting into summer. And we do want to give a few shout outs to patrons and VIPs. The first one we have here is Ron Brock, or Moto Traveler, who I would say at the moment is one of our most engaged patrons. I think he comments on every single post that we put up, sends us messages, and has even gotten us a number of things off of our Amazon wish list. So thank you very much, Brock. We appreciate that. And another VIP we've got here is Ryan Crawley. You would have seen him a few episodes ago when we were going through and painting the bottom of the Pacemaker as well as moving some of the bulkheads around. We got a message from him a while ago saying that after hanging out with Brian and Karen, who told him about the catamaran build, he really wanted to get his hands into it, come out here for a couple weeks. So after getting just a taste of it that one day, which unfortunately we didn't do anything on the catamaran, we do have it scheduled now that he's going to come out for another 10 days to get really in-depth with this build in just a couple of weeks, so we're looking forward to that. But we are starting to actually fill up the first hull. Luckily we've got 2, so we'll move over to the next side once we need to, but our wall of patrons, I'm so happy every time we get to put names up here. It makes me feel so great to have the community that we do. And if you want to get your name up here as well, just follow the link in the description box below or the link up here in the corner.